Hi guys, and welcome back to this episode of Pete's Cookhouse. Today we're making McRibs, or McRibs, McDonald's McRibs. But we're going to be doing it my style, my way, the better way. And I'm dedicating this show, or this episode I should say, to some good friends at Bounce 1029, the morning show, the morning crew, with Sonny Janesco, Matt Hayes, and Steve Martin. No, not the Steve Martin you're thinking of, but the other Steve Martin, the producer. So, I just wanted to reach out and say thank you to you guys, and this is my way of giving back to you guys. So, what we're going to be doing is not the version of McDonald's McRib. And what I'm trying to explain is, we're not going to be using just an ordinary barbecue sauce. We're going to be using our own barbecue sauce that we made in previous episodes, which is the Bourbon barbecue sauce. McDonald's has raw white onions that they put in it. We're going to use crispy onions instead. And for the rib meat, the rib itself, the star of the show, we're not using processed ground pork shaped into a rib patty. We're going to be using an actual side of rib that we're going to cook like we did in the previous episode, where it's fall off the bone, and we're going to finish them off in the barbecue. We're going to take the bones out, we're going to cut it to size and put it between two soft buns, and that's going to be our version of the McRibs. So let's get started. I'll get the stuff and I'll be right back. Hi guys, and welcome back. So what we have our St. Louis cut ribs that I got it once again. Shout out at guys at the VG Meats. Thank you for helping me out with this, Andrew and Dan. We also have our dry rub that we're going to be, this is actually dry rub that I made. I'll be putting the ingredients on the description, or on the bottom description. We need mustard for a binder, aluminum foil, and a butter knife. So let's get started and prep this up. So we're going to open these guys up. Look at these. These are just beautiful. Put one in here and take the other one and put it in here. All right, now we get rid of this. Now, first thing we have to do, when you're prepping ribs, you have to take out the membrane. There's a membrane here in the back. Now you have to take it off. Well, I'm not saying that you have to take it off, but in order to have all the flavors come through and to get rid of that little that chewiness, it's better off to remove the membrane. Now, to remove the membrane, this is where your butter knife comes in. You come up behind the bone, you find the bone, and you just find the membrane and you lift it up like this. Now, once this thing is lifted up, this is where the paper towels come in handy. You just grab the membrane, because the membrane is slippery, and you just pull it off like this. Now, it could give you a little bit of trouble if they're fighting with you, but you know what? It comes off fairly easy. Like this. And get another one. And remove all of it. There we go. So this one's done. I'll be doing the same to the other one. And after that, we're going to be putting some dry rub on it, some flavor. It's going to be really good. So don't go away. I'll be doing this one. We're probably going to fast forward or edit it. And yeah. All right. So now that all the membranes are gone, we will do the backside. So we will put some mustard on it, and don't worry about it. You will not taste the mustard. This is just acting as a binder for the dry rub. So put some mustard on here. Don't be worried. You won't taste it. And you just spread it on here nice and even. Get the sides, because you're going to be putting some dry rub on it also, everywhere. All right, this one and this one. And if somebody's wondering, or people are wondering why I'm not wearing gloves, well, it's because I'm cooking for myself and my wife. So I wash my hands. Ain't that right? That's right. All right. Now for the dry rub, just spread it evenly. You can add as much as you want, as little as you want. Just make sure to get a good coverage. And this is dry rub that is actually specifically made for ribs. So it has a little bit of bite to it, not too much. Has some sweetness, and once you see the ingredients, it's very simple to make. Like, I didn't make a video on it because that's how simple it is. You just put the dry ingredients all together and mix them up and store them in your pantry, and just use it whenever you need it. So press it down, don't rub it, because you're going to just wipe everything off. And then we turn it over and we do the other side. All right, now same process. And then you put the dry rub on it, and we're almost done for this process. Now, this ideally, you should let sit overnight to let all this wonderful flavors sink into the meat. Or you can just, a couple of hours if you're in a rush. It's fine, but at least give it a bit of time. At least give it 3 hours. Let's say 3 hours for all of this to go into it and get absorbed by the meat. So what's left to do now, we're going to put it in the foil. We're going to seal it all up and put it in the fridge and let it rest and absorb all these nice spices. And then we're going to cook them. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Everything's foiled up, put it in the fridge, and let it sit for a couple hours. All right, guys, now that the ribs are resting in the fridge, we'll go ahead and we'll prep our crispy onions. So in order to do that, naturally you need onions. what you want to do with crispy onions, first off, we're going to be doing an air fryer. I prefer in hot oil, but we're thinking healthy, so we're going to try it in the air fryer. So you need a couple of onions, because the more you make, the better, because you're going to be eating these as you go. Once they're done, they're extremely good. So get yourself an onion, and you're going to have to cut it really fine, like really thin slices. So you can use a knife, or you can use a mandolin. Trying to get it as thinly as possible. So, got a nice little pile here. So this is what we have. So we're going to put this in a bowl. Separate these. Put all that in there. And we are going to dredge them. Now, you can dredge them a couple of different ways. You can use buttermilk. We're going to try it with a little bit of half and half and see how that goes. So, got all your onions separated, and we're going to just put some half and half on here and let it soak. So that's what we do. Mix it up and set it aside. Let it rest in there for a little bit. And now we're going to make our coating, our flour. So take a little pan. All right. So we need some flour. All right. We're going to add salt and pepper to this. Pepper, a little bit of salt. Get this out of the way. Now, and we're going to add a little bit of smoked paprika to the flour. Not much, maybe like a quarter teaspoon, like that. And now we mix it all up. Give it a mix. Make sure everything's nice and incorporated. Had some nice music going. Okay, so we're going to lay down some paper towels, because we're going to want to take as much of the liquid out of the onions. You want to drain them. And then we do is we just pop it in here into the flour. And we coat it. Make sure you get a nice dusting over the onions, right? put them in my little basket here. Set them aside. Like this. Now, take them out of the flour, shake them off, let them there, put them there until we're ready to put them in the air fryer, and just repeat this process. Okay. Make sure you separate them because they'll have a tendency of clumping up. Put the rest of these guys in here. All right. So now, you're all covered. Just gonna clean up, and we'll be right back, and we'll put this in the air fryer. All right, guys. So now the onions are all battered up. We're gonna put them in the air fryer. Air fryer is nice and hot. We're going to set it for 400, and we're going to put it for, say, 15 minutes. But we're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to open it up and shake it. So, first thing, we're going to add a little bit of oil to the pan, to the bottom of this. And we're going to put our onions in here. A little bit of oil on top of it. And we're off to the races. So, I'll keep an eye on these, and yeah, I'll just come back when they're done.
Do you remember this guy?
Mm-hmm.
That.
Sweetie. Well, you didn't hear the bleep? Okay, sorry. All right, guys, so our crispy onions are done. I don't know if you guys can see this right here. Look at that. So, nice and crispy. What we're going to do is we're going to take them out, put them on a rack to cool off. And once they're cooled off, we will be cooking our ribs. So look at these beautiful crispy onions. Those are gorgeous. Come on, gotta get everybody out of here. There you go. Nobody's left behind. All right. We're going to let these cool off, and when I return, we will be cooking the ribs in the Instapot. Stay tuned. Hi guys, and welcome back. So now it's time to cook our ribs. I'm going to cook them in the Instapot for the simple reason is that it takes a lot less time, and if you don't have time to wait 8 hours to smoke them on the barbecue, this is probably the best way to go for fall off the bone ribs, and literally fall off the bone. 36 minutes at high temperature in the pressure cooker, And once you take them out, you got to be very careful because everything's going to fall apart. Now, the true, at heart, the true barbecue rib guys, the competition guys, will say that fall off the bone ribs is overcooked ribs. But for the most people that I know, fall off the bone ribs are the pinnacle in ribs. So let's get started. Our ribs are out of the fridge. We're going to put them in the Instapot. We're going to prepare the liquid that will go into the Instapot, which will be half a cup of our bourbon barbecue sauce and half a cup of water. So we'll get that ready and we'll put that in there. We'll open up our Instapot here, take the lid off. Now for those people that have never used it or had gotten an Instapot as a gift and it's sitting in the cupboard somewhere, don't be afraid. It's really, really, really simple. It's really, really safe. It's not like when I was a kid, my mom and dad had a pressure cooker, and whenever time they took it out, it was a big hoopla because the amount of pressure that stuff would build, and if you weren't careful, the little knobby thing that would shake would go flying off and create a whole havoc in the house. This has a lot of safety features. Don't be afraid. Take it out. Start experiencing with it. The best way to is this because there's not a lot of prep to it. There's other videos I'll be doing showing what else you can do with the Instapot. It's a great little machine. So without further ado, we got our little barbecue sauce here. We're going to add half a cup to that. There we go. And then we're going to put half a cup of water. Give it a nice stir so that everything mixes together. And we're also going to add a little secret ingredient. I will finish them off on the barbecue as well, but I'd like to put a little bit of liquid smoke. So if you're not going to finish them off on the barbecue and you're going to finish them off on the stove and you still want that barbecue flavor, that's the thing to do. Liquid smoke. Just add it to this sauce. Or you can even add it onto your ribs before you're putting your dry rub on it. And it'll be just wonderful. It's going to taste amazing. So put this cup of juice in there. This is what helps to steam the ribs. So everything's in here. Close this jar because we're going to need it later. Put this aside. Clean up a little bit of the mess. And now the ribs will go in. So we have this little rack here. We will put that rack inside the Instapot like this. And now we put the ribs in. Oh, these are going to be gorgeous. So grab your ribs and give them a little turn like this. Make a crown. And put them inside here, like that. And we're going to put 2 of them in there. That's the beauty of it. You can cook 2 racks of ribs in one Instapot, and they're going to be cooked all at the same time, and they're going to be just as beautiful. So, let's give that a little twist here, like that. There we go. Wash your fingers off. Put our lid back on. There. Now it's locked, it's secure in place. You have vent, and you have the vent in the back, and you also have a switch that releases the pressure. Make sure that it's on pressure and not on vent. So the newer versions are always on pressure. You have to switch it to release the pressure. So now that is all said and done, we're going to set the pressure cooker right here. It's already set for 36 minutes. Let me turn that around here for you. So 36 minutes. We don't need to keep it warm once it's done. And after that, we just press start. It's going to come up to temperature. It's going to release a little bit of steam as it's doing so. And you'll know that once it starts starts cooking is when the steam completely stops. The pressure is doing its thing, and then it starts to cook. So 36 minutes from now, from once it's all said and done, we will be putting these ribs out on the barbecue to finish them off. We're going to bring them back in, and we're going to start our build. All right, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're back. The ribs have finished cooking. I actually brought it outside to release the pressure, because if I would have done this inside, we would still be in steam. So we're going to take them out. We're going to put them on a tray, and we're going to put them for about 10 minutes on the barbecue. I will have to go and start up the barbecue. It's a charcoal barbecue. Adds a lot more flavor. And right now, Matt, you were right about the weather. It kind of sucks out there. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to get these things done. But for now, let's take a look at what we got. Let's take the lid off. And those, my friend, are fall off the bone, literally. So, oh, and the smell too. You guys, the smell is amazing. Coming from the dry rub that we just put on, there's a little bit of cinnamon in this dry rub, and you can actually smell it. So, all right, let's take these boys out of here. Okay, this is going to be fun. That's what I'm talking about. Fall off the bone. Because these are the bones. I guess we have our meat for our sandwich right here. And now the second one. So when I say fall off the bone, okay, you can literally pull the bone out of the meat. Everything comes apart. So this is the best ribs you can have, just like this. But what we're going to do is take it up a little notch higher. We're going to put this on the barbecue with some barbecue sauce on it, by being very careful also so it doesn't fall between the grills. And then we're going to come back and we're going to build our sandwich. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we're back. The ribs have been cooked on the barbecue. Well, not cooked. They've been glazed and basically had a little crust added to it, a little more flavor. The crispy onions are done. I took the liberty of toasting the buns, giving it a nice toast on the barbecue. Now all we have left to do is to build the sandwich. So let's begin by getting a nice piece of meat here, this one here. So we'll put this here. that. So now we are going to add a little bit more of barbecue sauce on the bun. So a little bit more on the ribs, a little bit more on the bun. We're going to spread that out nicely, like that. Now, we need our pickles also. So, let's grab our sliced sweet pickle. You know what? We're going to cut it a little bit too big. Do that. Do that. Grab another one. And here. Do this like that. Now we add our crispy onions on top. And let's not be shy, right? And then we put our lid on top. Let's cut it up and see what it looks like. And this is what I call the ultimate McRib sandwich. This here is for you guys down at Bounce 102.9. Thank you for everything, and hats off to you. I will take a bite for you, and I'll let you know how it is. How's that? Okay? So, I'm digging in. Take this corner here. Oh, yeah. Well, wish you were here. This is amazing. The ribs are extremely moist. The sweet pickle, the bourbon barbecue sauce, the crunchy onions take it up to a next level. So, please, if you can, try this. Make it at home. It's really simple. That's all really I can say. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and the like button. Thank you very much. See you on the next episode.